taught and what he taught us in the past and everything, but without changing my style or my own visual outside, like just be me as now I am and acting like a prophet in his real life.
Okay. Islam is about your actions. That's the main thing. Your appearance is a different thing. There are things that Islam restricts us how we appear. Okay? Like for example, a woman must be wearing the hijab. A man must have at least, the minimum, at least a beard. It doesn't have to be long. That's a minimum. So there are things that Islam restricts us in our appearance. Besides that, I could appear however I want as long as I'm not appearing in a haram way. Obviously, there's the minimums in Islam and there's the maximums. Unfortunately, we have not even reached the minimums. If I could focus on the minimums, I'll focus on my Islam, I focus on for example, my prayers, I focus on the time of the prayers, I focus on my fasting, I'll keep away from the haram. These are the essentials, and that's why, these are the things that we should be focusing on. And then I'll start escalating step by step. I'm not going to be Mus'ab ibn Umair one day and night. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to be Abu Bakr one day and night. That's not going to happen. But what's going to happen is I could start building up myself. For example, one of the things that I really focus on, I want you to focus on, is your salah. Praying your prayers, praying them on time, praying them the way the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ prayed them. Seek knowledge on how you pray. These are something important for us to know. Okay, move on to the next one. Start attending lessons, even if it's once a week. If there's none in Sweden, at least I listen to a lecture once a week. Educate myself. I always say our parents came from overseas with a little bit of knowledge. We took a little bit of that little bit. So what's left to give our children? A dot. I want to ask a sincere question. Who could assure and guarantee that their grandchildren are going to be Muslims living in this country? Now everyone start to think, ooh, that's a hard one. I want you to sincerely think, who can assure, who can guarantee and say, look, I'm going to 100%, I could assure 100% that my grandchildren are going to be Muslims. Not practicing, Muslims. It's a bit of a tough question, yeah? Of course. If we are lacking, what do you expect our children to be? And then what do you expect your grandchildren to be? And that's why one of the scholars, when he came to Australia, he said, if you do not guarantee that the third generation after is going to be a Muslim, should not even be living in a non-Muslim country. But if we are lacking, what do we expect our children? But if I'm not lacking, then inshallah I could assure something at least. I could see my fruits in my children and my fruits in my grandchildren. I could see that if I'm practicing, if I'm fearing Allah Azza wa Jal, if I remind my children of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some of us our parents never ever one day reminded them of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Unfortunately. So let's take step by step. Okay, you don't have to, tomorrow khalas, go and buy abaya, have a long beard. That's not something required from you. What's required from you is to focus on your principles and your basics. Good question, inshallah.